In this video, I've set a big challenge for myself. I'm not going to try to talk about emotional intelligence. I'm going to try to demonstrate emotional intelligence in just the few minutes I have with you. My name is Ron with Lead Skill. We help leaders and their teams go further with emotional intelligence. So in another world, I may have said why you don't need emotional intelligence, because I find that myself, 22 years ago, I was somewhat resistant to the idea that I needed emotional intelligence. I thought I already had plenty. The notion that I lacked self-awareness, I just flat out rejected it. I knew I was self-aware, so no one was going to convince me otherwise. I was on my way to a business training offsite for our company at the time, and it got canceled because it fell on 9/11, 2001. So we never had that meeting. In the years since, I've had a number of opportunities, quite a lot of chances to grow deeper in emotional intelligence. And I have found, besides the books that I've read and the training courses that I've attended, there's really two key things that have helped me more than all of the knowledge, more than all of the training, to go deeper and further with emotional intelligence. And those are the two things I want to share with you now. The first, I have a tool on the wall right behind me, you can see it here, called an emotions wheel. And I have found that the emotions wheel is a disarmingly simple and yet powerful tool for helping us do something that is quite difficult: naming emotions. And so if I ask the question, what am I feeling right now? I'm not going to ask you the question, although you can do this for yourself and follow along. But if I ask myself, what am I feeling right now? What I'm really present right now to is a feeling of anticipation, and a specific kind of anticipation. The orange area here of the wheel, that's the anticipation quadrant. And one of the words that's there specifically is eager. I'm eager actually to share this knowledge and my own experience with you, with my viewers and other leaders who are trying to grow further with emotional intelligence. And so that's what I'm really present to right now, is this sense of kind of eagerness and anticipation at what is going to happen with this video, because I've been constantly surprised what happens when I send these out into the world and what I hear coming back. So naming your emotion, and there are quite a lot. Finding a larger vocabulary, other words for what we're feeling, getting specific, or what the psychologists call granular, down to the very specific level, really helps us calm down and manage emotion. So I'm going to invite you to adopt that practice. The second thing that is even more disarmingly simple but powerful is the second practice of just taking time to take a deep breath. And whenever I have gotten triggered, whenever I'm defensive, whenever I actually find my voice getting louder, and I have heard afterwards through feedback that I was being aggressive or coming across really strong, with a hard edge, I realized that if I had taken a moment to just breathe, to interrupt myself basically, and to take a deep breath, not where I normally breathe up here in the chest, but down in my belly. If I can step back, I'll just show you. Down in my belly, down here. If I'll breathe from there, what they call the diaphragm, that kind of breath, like this. It's not unnatural. It's not excessively like I don't have to do that, but just take a little deeper breath than my normal one. And if you want to go to an intermediate or a little more advanced practice, this one is like really takes you to another level. Take a deep breath in, and then very slight pause, and then add a little extra at the end. Watch, and then let it out slowly. So it's two-stage in breath with that extra after you've already taken a deep breath, it just fills up the lungs even more. And on a physiological level, there's all sorts of videos about this where it resets our vagus nerve, it resets our nervous system. And then the slow, deep breath out, it really calms our emotional state, our mind, our mood. It puts us in a different place. And so again, leaders that are really effective at what they do, I see them do this all the time whenever it's a tense meeting. And generally it's not a board meeting. Generally, board meetings, people are very civil and polite. But in an operations meeting, or when I'm meeting with the team that I manage, when tempers can get whipped up and people are really, can get intense at times, that's the time that I see the most effective. A minority of leaders, but the most effective ones actually take a moment to pause and go. They take a deep breath, and since they're not talking, it kind of gets people's attention. And it serves a very practical purpose for a leader of helping us to regulate ourselves. And it floods the brain with oxygen. It helps us to actually get more in touch with, what am I feeling right now? What am I committed to in this conversation? Am I committed to being right? Am I committed to getting my way? Or am I committed to a solution that actually is going to work for everyone, that works better for the organization, that fulfills what we're all trying to accomplish, but may not be what's foremost in my mind right now? I'm not going to get my way here. That's a powerful practice. And that, to me, is emotional intelligence in action. So the training courses are great. The books will help you grow in knowledge. But don't fall for the trap of emotional intelligence, of thinking it's a head exercise. It's actually a body, spirit, mind, will sort of exercise. It encompasses all we've got. And in order to be effective on all those different levels, it needs to be brought down to the bare essence, to the essentials. So name what you're feeling. Take deeper breaths. Manage and regulate yourself. And you're actually going to pace other people around you. As a leader, people will notice, even if they don't say anything about it, or if they can't even consciously recall, they will notice that you took a breath, that you took a pause, that you stopped talking, you stopped pushing your agenda long enough to create some space and to create some air in the room. Very powerful. Thanks for joining me on this video. We've got more on our channel. Subscribe, and we'll look for you joining us in the next video.